好的，接下來讓我們介紹的講者是 Astrid， 他將帶來 KKBOX StoryKit Migration 的過渡做法，分享如何在新功能中導入 StoryKit 2， 同時確保購買流程不受影響。特別提醒大家，如果還沒有下載 App 或者是翻譯軟體的，可以掃 Badge 後面的 QR code， 因為接下來的議程要用英文分享。那讓我們歡迎 Astrid。
Hello, I'm Astrid, and I'm here to show you how painful it is to implement in-app purchase without Revenue Cat. Just kidding. I'm here to share my experience of introducing a new business model using StoryKit 2 in an app that originally used StoryKit 1. To tell you a bit about myself, I've been an iOS developer at KKBOX for 3.5 years, and this is my first job out of Apple School. I'm very grateful for the opportunity to be here. I like being a developer because it feels great when people enjoy what I build. Outside of work, I love playing with Tangku and traveling. I just came back from Cambodia last month. I enjoy learning how people live in different cultures. Someday, I hope to live abroad. So far, many of you may have a question in your mind. Why is this person speaking English to a bunch of Taiwanese? I was also inspired by TriSwift Tokyo. This is the selfie from the after party. We had developers from 6 different countries share ideas with common languages. I hope iPlayground can grow into an event that attracts people from all around the world. My English isn't perfect, but I want to try, so that people who don't understand Mandarin can engage more directly. Also, I'm not an expert. I'm just here to share my experience and hopefully help some of you avoid the struggles I went through. By the end of this talk, you'll have a better idea of how to handle the challenges when using both StoryKit 1 and StoryKit 2 in the same app. Here's what I will cover today. A quick overview of StoryKit APIs, our implementation context, and strategic decisions, the technical challenges we faced, the tools we used for testing, the App Store review process reality, and key takeaways. All right, let's start with something fun. Can I ask everyone to raise your hand up? Yes, everyone. Thank you very much. Now, keep your hand up if you know which in-app purchase framework your company is using. If you don't know, just put your hand down. I won't tell you both, it's okay. Okay, we still have many hands here, so now keep your hands up if you already started using StoryKit 2. Wow, it's more than my imagination. Okay, thank you very much. You can all put your hand down. And yeah, so from what I've seen, we don't have like all people here started using StoryKit 2 yet, which is great. It means this talk is still useful for many of you. So now let's start to see how StoryKit has evolved. Actually, there's no official StoryKit 1. Its real name is Original API for in-app purchase, and it's a bit too long, so I will just call it StoryKit 1. StoryKit 1 introduced in 2009. It is dedicated-based, and it requires manual management of the payment queue. If you want to make a purchase, you have to make a payment with the product and add the payment to the payment queue. And that's even more after that. don't worry. You don't have to learn this. And I hope you don't need to in your whole life. All I want to show is Story 1 is worthy and fragile. Story 2 came out in 2021, built with Swift concurrency, making everything straightforward. If you want to make a purchase, just code product.purchase. That's it. One single line, you get the result. It's fully scoped and type safe. Sweet. For receipt, Story 1 gives you a unified receipt that contains all purchases in your app, and you have to parse and validate yourself. Story 2 provides the transaction objects, which contains product ID, purchase date, and many other informations. Unlike Story 1, Story 2 allows you directly access one transaction at a time, and it is much more easier to retrieve detailed information to customize your purchase flow. I use two examples to show how Story provides an easier and modern way to handle the purchases. Now, let's move on to KKBox implementation context. For music streaming, we use Story 1 with Verified Receipts API. Both subscription types are supported, and we didn't have consumable products. It works with a legacy billing system, which only handles music transactions. And the system works reliably in production for many, many years. Fan Club, our new business model, works differently from music streaming. It uses consumable, it built with Swift concurrency, and we have a new billing system that only handles fan club transactions. With so many differences in logic and architecture, we needed to find an approach that caused the least development effort. To figure that out, we explored three options. Option 1, fully move to Story 2, but this is risky because it changes the important parts of our app that have been stable for years. And you would need to have a very close teamwork with the billing and the app team. The timeline is hard to predict, and it could delay the fan club launch. So, option 2, stay with Story 1. It sounds safer, but it actually has a big problem. Story 1 and the Verified Receipts API are already deprecated. Option 3, hybrid approach, and that's the one we chose. We use Story 1 for music streaming and Story 2 for fan club. Apple allows mixing both APIs if we support iOS 15 or later, which we do. This way, we can keep our stable legacy flow and adopt Story 2 for our new feature, take advantage of Swift concurrency, and reduce risk while preparing for a future migration. To recap, Story 2 provides a modern and easier way compared to Story 1 to handle the purchases. To balance the stability and innovation, we chose the hybrid approach. But the trade-off is now we have to maintain two flows, which means more complexities. Next, I'll walk you through how we handle that. Let's start with a quick overview of how Story handles transaction histories. All transactions, whether using Story 1 or Story 2, are visible across both APIs, which means the purchases made using Story 1 can be accessed through Story 2, and StoreKey2 purchases also appear in the unified receipt used by StoreKey1. This cross-visibility is intentional and documented by Apple. But when using both APIs in the same app, it requires careful handling to avoid duplicate processing. So here comes the first problem. StoreKey1 received updates from StoreKey2 purchases and vice versa. There's no built-in separation, which could easily lead to double processing. To fix this, we use product ID to filter the logic. All fan club product ID contain fan club. In StoreKey1, we skip fan club products. And in StoreKey2, we only handle fan club products. The filtering gave us a clear separation. Problem 2, mixed receipt validation. StoreKey1 gives you a unified receipt that contains all purchases in the app. So it contains music streaming subscriptions and fan club transactions, which our legacy billing system wasn't designed to handle that. To fix this, we update our backend to ignore any transactions related to fan club. This way, the receipt upload won't break legacy logic. Above challenges are the threats documented by Apple, but there's no document that covered all scenarios. The tools provided by Apple really helped us a lot. They affect in-app purchase behavior, whether we use StoreKey1 or StoreKey2. In the early development stage, we use StoreKey testing in Xcode. It doesn't require internet or App Store connect. It's like an offline playground. The test configuration file provides many different options that can remind you to handle the scenarios that may happen. In our case, it reminded us to handle the ask to buy flow, which we hadn't planned for. Once the flow is planned and built, we use App Store Sandbox with App Store Connect product IDs to test the flow. In this stage, we test both legacy flow and the new fan club flow, including sending Sandbox receipts to our server. Most of the issues with the app server are discovered and solved in this stage. In our case, we found the fan club transaction inside the unified receipt, and when it was sent to our backend, it caused backend errors. Finally, we uploaded to TestFlight for internal testers to test the flow. Because all transactions are in Sandbox environment for TestFlight reviewers, so people can test whatever they want without being charged. And it helped us improve the user experience. Once everything was set up, we submitted our product to App Review. Normally, the review process is straightforward and doesn't require any extra steps. So we thought we were finally done. But then, Apple said, no. And it was really upsetting. I only have Mandarin screenshot here, but I can read the message for you. The in-app purchase has been rejected. For more information, please refer to the app review notes. And all product ID showed developer action needed. So, what happened? Let's refer to the app review note. There are too many words here. We can only focus on the keyword. Apple rejected our submission because we introduced a new business model, moving from subscriptions to including a consumable products. Apple wanted us to upload a new binary where fan club products are available to buy. But at that time, only purchase flow was implemented. All other fan club features were still in progress. So we wonder, would unlocking a placeholder feature be enough to pass review? To be safe, we waited and resubmitted after the full feature was ready. Before resubmission, we confirmed with our backend which API need to go live in production. We also enable our billing system to handle the sandbox transactions because initially our production backend ignored sandbox transactions. We also recorded a demo video showing the full purchase flow with detailed explanation and share it with an app review note. Finally, we renamed localized product name, which I'll explain next. At submission time, we were blocked by the persistent product ID error, and we couldn't find any way to clear it. After several days, we finally found a fix. Just editing the rejected product's localized name, even just retyping it, can reset the product and clear the error. Finally, we resubmitted, and we finally passed the review. But thank you. Thank you very much, but there's still surprise. Surprisingly, our backend showed no purchase activity. So how did Apple verify it? Was it the demo video? Or were we just super lucky? We'll never know. But the lesson is clear. Submit early. Apple review process can be full of surprises. After sharing our implementation, there's one more thing I want to stress. Before the United States allows external checkout links this year, there are actually some regions already permitted external payment, like the European Union and Korea. In Taiwan, in-app purchase is still mandatory, but this global trend might eventually reach us. It's something we can keep an eye on. To summarize the key takeaway, here's a checklist for anyone who wishes to use a similar approach. First, coordinate with your backend about handling the mixed receipts. Filter purchases by product ID. Test both flows using the tools we covered earlier. Leave buffer time for app review process. And ensure your product is available to purchase during the app review process. The hybrid approach isn't perfect. It adds complexity, but it gave us the low-risky way to adopt StoreKit 2 for our new feature. The issues we faced were small, but difficult to find solutions on the internet. I hope this session saved you time. Before we wrap up, I want to introduce Fan Club, a brand new feature in the KKBOX app. Fan Club helps fans feel a deeper intimacy with their idols. There are two QR codes on the screen, one to access Slide and another to check out Fan Club. And in case some of you want to know more about Tangku, here's her Instagram. And while you are all scanning the QR code, I have a little wish as a first-time speaker. I want to have a selfie with all of you. Is that okay? Oh, please, come on, thank you. Say cheese. Thank you. Okay, a big thank you to all the staff who worked so hard behind the scene. And thank you for listening.